This morning I'm going to talk about channeling. I know you're all interested in channeling. Well, so was I. Let's see, before I started this work as a medium and connecting with spirit, I was a yoga teacher. Still am, I guess. But probably about 15 years ago, I did my teacher training and I was teaching a lot of yoga, and it came very natural to me. In fact, I would give some classes and my students afterwards would say, "Wow, that was so great. The flow was so great. What's up with that?" And I would say, "I have no idea. I have no idea where I learned half of that." So I kept saying, "I must have channeled it," and saying it as a joke, but knowing deep in my heart, because I did have a spiritual nature to me. I believed in heaven. I believed God was everywhere. And because of that, I was present enough with my body and my teaching that I knew what was coming out of me was not from my mind, it was from my body. It was from another place in my body. So I just kept thinking, well, in a past life, I must have been a yoga teacher, and all of this is coming back. I really never questioned it. I just said, this is great. What a great way to teach yoga. And then as the years went by and I started developing my spiritual gifts of mediumship, I was told by Spirit that two of my spirit guides are actually great yogi masters. One is Sai Baba and the other is Sri Babaji. So here I am now doing this mediumship work and feeling the same thing with Abraham Lincoln and Jerry Hicks and the other guides that I channel. I am able to be a clear channel, which means I remove my ego, I remove any thoughts that I may have regarding the subject that we're speaking of, and I allow their words to come through me. Are they their words or are they my words? Good question. They are actually my words, but they join my words together to make a statement, to make the message, to make the conversation. Let's go back now to when I first started channeling, or when I first was told I will be channeling. When Jerry first appeared to me, and you can look back at my other links regarding that, when that happened. After he appeared to me, I thought, well, I might as well start meditating with all my guides around me and see what happens. So I sat in my meditation cushion. I put Jerry to the right of me, spirit guides that I knew, my protector guide, my master teacher, my joy guide, the ones I already knew I had with me because of my spirit cards with Reverend Hoyt, and you can look back to another episode regarding spirit cards. So here I am sitting around meditation, my eyes are closed, I see Jerry and my guides in front of me. And as soon as I close my eyes, Jerry stands up and starts to try to get inside of me. Like he just walks right over to me and sits down. And I opened my eyes and went, wait a minute. But I got to find out more about this. I wasn't afraid. I was just, what are you doing? And what does that mean for me? So I went along with my learning and my Googling and didn't find anything about that, but I asked some teachers that I had from the camp that I did seminary week at. I asked them, hey, what is this about? And they're like, they want you to channel. So I said, okay, I'm up with that. How does it work? Are they going to step inside of me like that? Am I going to go out completely in a full trance and just start speaking? Or am I going to be in a light trance where my eyes are closed and I'm kind of there, but the words are coming? Or am I going to be speaking like I'm speaking to you right now, the way that Esther Hicks does and Abraham Hicks? I didn't know. I'll tell you what I wanted to do, though. I wanted to be completely out. I wanted to not know what was saying. I wanted to totally be out of it, so that people would believe me. Well, Spirit had a different idea about that. And they put me through the paces, and I walked the path with regard to knowing who I truly was, my fears, my feelings of self-worth, on worthiness, my feelings of unworthiness, my feelings of limitations, my feelings of being limitless, and my fear of that. If I started talking, saying, oh, here's Abraham Lincoln, and he's here to say, would people really believe me? Well, I'm doing it, and I am a conscious channel. So I went through the paces, like I said, and I learned all my lessons, I'll put that in quotes, all my lessons, not yet. And I started channeling. I just had to start speaking, knowing that they were right there. So I started to recognize their energy. I recognized the way they looked in spirit. I did a lot of meditating directly with all of my guides, so I would learn their feel. I would learn actually the way they presented in spirit world. Like Abraham Lincoln comes just as you would expect him to come, in full gear, full regalia, full I am the I am sort of person in spirit world. Jerry Hicks talks very fast in spirit world, and when I transcribe what he says, I have to keep pausing and going back, and in my head I'm going, Donna, it's you channeling, why don't you just speak slower? But I can't. That is not it. It is actually Jerry, and that's the way he speaks. Mr. Lincoln speaks in that tone like this, and he speaks a little slower, so I'm able to transcribe a lot easier. Jerry Hicks talks a lot with his hands, and that for me is very heartwarming because I'm Italian and I like to speak a lot with my hands. So there's a good connection there with Jerry. Again, I am a conscious channel, so that allows spirit to come through me, and I'm able to step out of. So I become not only an observer during a channeling session, I'm also a moderator, I am also the speaker, and I'm also Donna, who's just sitting here watching all of that. So I have the ability, I have practiced and honed in this ability to sit with the entity or spirit I am channeling and also be all of those things all at once. It is not something I thought I would ever be able to do or want to do. Again, I wanted to be in a deep trance, which was out completely, which so many mediums have done. You may have read about some mediums who have allowed spirit to take over their body completely. And we know now that's not a healthy thing for the physical body. We have to have boundaries as the physical person here. So that's fun. It continues to be fun. I am presently composing a book on channeled conversations with Jerry Hicks and President Abraham Lincoln. The two of them came together during my first reading, one of my first readings with someone, and they have become fast friends in spirit world. So the two of them like to come together during my channeling sessions. I channel another group called the Great Masters, and when they come forth, you feel them sweep into the room. There was one time where I was channeling or meditating with my guides, and all of a sudden all my guides turned around and went like this, and you could see the Great Masters just sweep in and start speaking through me. And they tend to be very you can look at them on my website, Talks by the Great Masters. They tend to be very spiritual, kind of along the realms of Abraham, from Abraham Hicks, an entity, a group entity. Okay, if you have any questions regarding this, I love to talk about channeling, and I love to channel. Send me an email at dboyle.medium@yahoo.com. Check out my website, dboylemedium.com, or send me an email, send me any questions, and like this post, like this video, so other people get up there and say, oh, somebody else liked this, maybe I'll like it. It's all about the likes. I hope you enjoy this. Share it, if you will, to others who may be open to receive this message. Thanks for listening. See you next time.